A triple camera setup on the rear tuned by Leica along with the longest 5x periscope zoom, a MediaTek Dimensity 8500 Ultra processor, a 12-bit display, a large battery, IP68 rating, fast charging, all this at 54,999 at a time when the prices are only going up and up. Yes, I'm talking about the Xiaomi 17T, and it's already looking very good. So let's get into this phone and understand this a little bit more. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Ashad. This is Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now let's start with the cameras, because at least on paper, Xiaomi has definitely delivered with the Xiaomi 17T. Because what you get is a 50MP Light Fusion 800 primary camera, which has a 1x1.55 inch sensor. You get a 12MP ultra wide, and you get that headlining 50MP 5x periscope camera along with that 32 megapixel selfie camera. Now the real world performance of these cameras are genuinely good. Detail at 1x, 2.5x and 5x is sharp without any over sharpening, which is a relief. It's very flagship grade in terms of detail retention, and I kind of like that. Leica Authentic and Leica Vibrant are both present, just like the 17 Ultra and the 17 of course. Leica Authentic is of course my personal favorite. It's got that trademark Leica look that no other phone can achieve. See, when it comes to the color tuning with Xiaomi's algorithm, they actually always go for a unique look with that Leica Vibrant and Leica Authentic. So that's something that you'll have to make peace with. Portraits are strong across the board, especially at 1x, 2x and 5x. You get a good edge detection and bokeh drop off as well. Zoom performance also holds up impressively even at 10x and 30x, because Xiaomi doesn't overprocess with a lot of AI, which is a philosophy that it had with the 17 Ultra, with the 17 and now continues with the 17T as well. And if you want to, you can also push up to 120x max zoom. I don't know why you would do that, but if you want to, you can. Skin tones, I would say, are decent and not the most accurate. Low light performance is solid with no real complaints as such. You can take a look at the shots that we've taken. They look pretty good. And the best part is that the 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera punches above its weight, especially considering that many phones in this price range come with an 8 megapixel ultra wide. So Xiaomi did well here. One issue that I did notice is the chromatic aberration in HDR shots. When the phone tries to recover highlights, you can see some color fringing around the edges of the leaves if you notice closely. I think Xiaomi can easily patch this out. It probably will as well. This is very early days for the 17T. Now talking about the video quality, you can shoot at 4K 60fps with the primary camera and the 5x periscope camera, and the ultra wide and selfie are limited to 4K 30fps. I don't see a reason why those cameras cannot get 60fps video recording. They should, right? Stabilization is good, and there's no HDR video recording support, so you'll have to keep that in mind. Now overall, the camera performance is really strong, and Xiaomi doesn't miss a beat here, and it doesn't compromise as well. See, of course, you've got the primary camera, which does good shots. You've also got the 5x periscope, which again is something that is unheard of in this price range. It's not a throwaway 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. It's a proper 12 megapixel camera, and the selfie camera also does a fairly decent job. And all of this along with the same flagship grade Leica tuning that you get with the 17 and the 17 Ultra. So good job. Now before I move on, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and give us your support. Now one thing I like about the Xiaomi 17T has to be this nice and compact 6.59 inch 1.5K 120Hz OLED panel. It also has a peak brightness of 3500 nits in a 25% APL, which by the way is the largest window for measuring APL that I've actually tested. And in our testing, of course, it holds up really well. It gets really bright outdoors, and there's no problem with the display at all. Plus you get these really tiny bezels and a tiny little punch hole camera as well, so you do get very good screen estate too. Of course, there is no LTPO, just adaptive refresh rate, but Xiaomi makes up for that by giving you a proper 12-bit panel. So whether you're watching HDR10 content on YouTube or Dolby Vision content on Netflix, this display really shines. And the HDR gradation has been done really well too. It offers the performance that is definitely better than any 8-bit plus FRC panel. The original Pro Color mode also does a very good job with the color accuracy. You also get 3840Hz of PWM dimming. On top of that, you get Xiaomi Eye Care Shield and 4 TUV Rhineland certifications for your eye safety. And if you're a gamer, the instantaneous touch sampling rate can also go up to 3200 Hz. And yes, you do get an optical in-display fingerprint scanner, which is very fast. But what I was really surprised with was the haptic feedback tuning of the vibration motor inside the Xiaomi 17T. It is actually really good. Very tight and very crisp. Finally, coming to audio, you do get proper Bluetooth high-res codec support, which is nice. And the stereo speaker, I'd say, are decent enough, but I feel like there could have been a little bit more bass and heft to it. Anyway, listen to it for yourself and let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I must say this, I like the fact that Xiaomi is always ahead of the curve when it comes to great multimedia experiences on their phones, whether it's 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, or even 60,000 rupees, or even flagship grade. Now, under the hood, you get the MediaTek Dimensity 8500 Ultra, and it's paired to 12GB of LPDDR5X RAM, along with 256GB or 512GB of internal storage, and that's UFS 4.1 storage. Unfortunately, Antutu and 3D Mark tests did not run on the phone, but Geekbench returned a score of 1721 and 6938. Basically single core and multi-core, which by the way is one of the best scores that we've tested with an 8500, so that's nice. In Wuthering Waves, the phone averaged 44.9 FPS with the temperature setting 44.5 degrees. Arknight's Enfield was smoother at 59.1 FPS average, which is very good, but the temperatures climbed to 46.1 degrees. So the phone does run a little warm under load, and that's something to note. Hopefully Xiaomi can fix that with a software update. Regular daily usage is a completely different story, however. It's fast, it's snappy, there are no stutters, no complaints whatsoever, and network performance both on Jio and Airtel has been fantastic. Apart from this, you also get the eSIM support and Xiaomi offline support, which is a nice feature to have, honestly. So in the one run that we had, the battery life we got was 7 hours of screen on time with the 6500 mAh battery that's inside the phone. For context, we're also playing a lot of games using the camera running benchmarks, and therefore in the first run itself to get 7 hours, it's actually pretty good. So I'm hoping that the performance only keeps increasing. And the charging is handled by 67 watt fast charging with the charger inside the box, and you also do get 22.5 watt reverse wired charging speeds too. Performance for the price is solid. There are a few thermal quirks that you need to be aware of, but otherwise the fundamentals are strong. Now, talking about the design, you get a standard flat-sided slab, but I like the fact that it's actually compact, so it makes it really comfortable to hold and use. Also, what adds to the comfort are the micro curved edges of the phone itself. It's very similar to what we saw with the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, but yes, the entire body is actually made of glass fiber that includes the back and the frame. Now, because of this choice, the weight of the phone is well in control, despite the fact that you actually do get a 6500 mAh battery inside, and it is fairly slim too for the proportions that it has. Now, the camera module is very similar to what we saw with the Xiaomi 17. It's the square kill camera module with 4, distinctive camera rings that you can see, which is nice. I like it. It's a clean design. Apart from that, you also get Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, IP68 rating, and an IR blaster at the back. But the fact that the Type-C port is a USB 2.0 port and the phone lacks wireless charging could be downsides for some people who are considering the phone. Overall, I'd say that the design is minimal, it's functional, and it's definitely not flashy. So what I'd really like to see is how this holds up in long-term usage, which we'll definitely check out. Now, for the software experience, Xiaomi is giving the 17T a proper flagship experience. What you get is HyperOS with 4 years of OS updates and 6 years of security updates. The install is also surprisingly clean. You do get some pre-installed apps like Amazon, LinkedIn, and Indus Store, but especially for Amazon, LinkedIn, I feel like they're useful, and if you don't want them, you can uninstall them. But the Indus Store cannot be uninstalled. I feel like the UI can be a touch more refined, but in the 2 days that we've spent with the phone, I feel like it's pretty smooth otherwise. And that flagship experience that you get with HyperOS on its flagship lineup of phones, you get that with the Xiaomi 17T as well. So that's nice. The features that you get with HyperOS are of course very strong. So you get customizable lock screen, Hyper Island, you also get AI writing, you get AI interpreter, you get AI Erase Pro, and you also get ecosystem connectivity with the ability to even connect to a MacBook, which is very nice. And it goes without saying that you get support for Circle to Search and Gemini as well. So overall, if you want the best HyperOS experience, the Xiaomi 17T is probably a good vessel for it. So here's my honest 2-day take on the device. The Xiaomi 17T is built on a rare philosophy in 2026. What if we didn't raise the prices? For context, the Europe converted price in INR of the Xiaomi 17T is 80,000 rupees. So therefore, that 54,000 rupee price doesn't feel like a lot. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Also, one very interesting thing that Xiaomi is introducing with the Xiaomi 17T is a buyback program, which they're trying out for the first time. So if you buy the 17T and 1 year later, Xiaomi will still give you 60% of the phone's value as buyback, provided everything about the phone is alright. Obviously, Xiaomi will be the judge of that. The interesting thing is that you don't necessarily need to buy a Xiaomi phone for that buyback value. You can buy any other phone as well. See, the fiberglass build and the wireless charging are the two proper compromises that you have with the phone, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But the Leica's camera system with the 5x periscope, the 6500 mAh battery, Dimensity 8500 Ultra, and a true 12-bit system actually makes it a phone worth considering under 60,000 rupees. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.